change gon' come, change gon' come. Rattling the scripts that change gon' come, you know change gon' come, change gon' come. Rattling the scripts that change gon' come, you know change gon' come, change gon' come. Rattling the scripts that change gon' come, you know change gon' come, change gon' come. Rattling the scripts that change gon' come.
Yeah, change coming fast, days running past. We maze runners ablaze and stay numbered last. The pain that we display, you can't understand. That's why we move with the faith of David Abraham. We tryna pace where the apes be. Keys like HP, curses live at HD. Women chasing clout and brothers changing their faces. Screaming, oh God, send your son to save us.
So tired of all the pain. See all my people in is living day to day. It's hard to face. But know that on that day you can release them chains. So give him all the praise and change. Change gon' come, change gon' come. Rattling the scripts that change gon' come, you know change gon' come, change gon' come. Rattling the scripts that change gon' come, you know change gon' come, change gon' come. Rattling the scripts that change gon' come, you know change gon' come, change gon' come. Rattling the scripts that change gon' come. Yeah, it's time for a change to come to my people. Cause Lord knows that we ain't treated equal. 400 years of the same old ish. Rape, rob, kill and spoil, getting off the shit. Now check it, can barely wait for that day to come. Getting ready for that war, time to beat the drum. And to the ones trying to hold me back with bent up faces, just call me Master Eddie, trading places.
Change gon' come, and it's coming fast. I know change gon' come, cause this world won't last. I know it's so much hurt, and it's so much pain. But when them cherries come, just know the world gon' change. Why my people cry, cause they tired of lies. That's why we face the east, pray to your how it shine. Cause change gon' come, prophecy says that change gon' come. Yeah.
So tired of all the pain. See all my people in is living day to day. It's hard to face. But know that on that day you can release them chains. So give him all the praise and change. Change gon' come, change gon' come. Rattling the scripts that change gon' come, you know change gon' come, change gon' come. Rattling the scripts that change gon' come, you know change gon' come, change gon' come. Rattling the scripts that change gon' come, you know change gon' come, change gon' come. Rattling the scripts that change gon' come.
Look, we've been trying to get up out of this, but we've been too busy worshiping some nonsense. Jesus. We want change that happen real quick, but we are stiff-necked people and we don't give a All women all up on Instagram, shaking and twerking their ass like they don't give a damn. And if we really want change, we gotta open our book and be baptized again. We gotta change.
So tired of all the pain. See all my people in is living day to day. It's hard to face. But know that on that day you can release them chains. So give him all the praise and change. Change gon' come, change gon' come. Rattling the scripts that change gon' come, you know change gon' come, change gon' come. Rattling the scripts that change gon' come, you know change gon' come, change gon' come. Rattling the scripts that change gon' come, you know change gon' come, change gon' come. Rattling the scripts that change gon' come, change gon' come, change gon' come. Rattling the scripts that change gon' come, you know change gon' come, change gon' come. Rattling the scripts that change gon' come, you know change gon' come, change gon' come. Rattling the scripts that change gon' come, you know change gon' come, change gon' come. Rattling the scripts that change gon' come.
Change gon' come, change gon' come. Rattling scripts that change gon' come, you know change gon' come, change gon' come. Rattling scripts that change gon' come, you know change gon' come, change gon' come. Rattling scripts that change gon' come, you know change gon' come, change gon' come. Rattling scripts that change gon' come, that change gon' come, that change gon' come, that change gon' come.
Well, I let you fall. You know, I'm just gonna keep it real. Yeah, how I live. I might speak that slang, but got that word. I can still pull up where I served in. They watching my moves, they observing. Steam my brother, it's whatever for you. I'ma serve. What you need? I might speak that slang, but got that word. I can still pull up where I served in. They watching my moves, they observing. Steam my brother, it's whatever for you. I'ma serve. I'm standing right here, you can crucify me. I'll forever be a voice for the voiceless. Hang with the Lord, you can get on. Asking my haters who they put on. Do this for the love we don't put on. And we lay down the blueprint, and we following the red print. Put a blue letter, re-reference. No blood or crips, y'all brothers repent. You know the vibes when we bump shows. No, we going up, but don't speak on. Know what I'm on in real time. And we too lit for lies. The box they living lies. Don't need your criticize. Never met him one time, but my name in his mind. Why most I gotta remind to stop the COVID, they wild. I might speak that slang, but got that word in. I can still pull up where I served in. They watching my moves, they observing. Steam my brother, it's whatever for you. I'ma serve. I might speak that slang, but got that word in. I can still pull up where I served in. They watching my moves, they observing. Steam my brother, it's whatever for you. I'ma serve.
Shalom, this is Officer Benyamin of AHOS, here to bring you another verse of the day. And the verse comes from the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 25 and 26. And it reads, Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. Is not life more than meat, and the body than raiment? Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they? This is what we have to remember. We are better than the animals and the beasts that have been made. But the animals here, they do not want. They have everything that they need. Remember these things. Shalom.
AHOS.
Shalom, Yasha Allah. This is your Ak Kasadi with the Anointed House of Saints, coming to you with the verse of the day. And it reads, this is 1 Samuel 15 and 22. And Samuel said, Has Yahweh as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of Yahweh? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. The Most High always wanted you to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. He never wanted those sin sacrifices. He always wanted you to be obedient. Right? That's how you cleave to the Most High God. Kal Halal Yahweh Hashem Yahweh. This is the Anointed House of Saints. Shalom.
AHOS.
This is Captain Yahweh. I'm coming with the verse of the day. We are going to be in the book of Malachi, chapter 3 and verse 6. It says, For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore you sons of Jacob are not consumed. And so we got to understand that, the Most High could have destroyed us, right? Because of all the wickedness that we've done, all of the things that we've been into since we made the covenant, since our forefathers made the covenant with him at the bottom of Mount Sinai. Right, we've gone off into idolatry, we fought after other gods, but because the Lord had made a promise with Abraham, he said he changed not, therefore you sons of Jacob are not consumed. So we got to be thankful that the Most High has not done away with us, that he has not gotten rid of us, even though we deserve it. We deserve death, we deserve destruction, but all praise to the Most High that he does not change. And with that, I'm Captain Yahweh. Shalom.
AHOS. mean, Jonathan got bars, man. He got bars. But he always making slow music, man. I want to pray to his music and meditate. He can't get hype, man. Sometimes I want to get hype for the Lord. Come on, man. Blood on the post. 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 Keeping them close. Man, we got fringes and seats on the clothes. Me and my brothers ain't sleeping. We reading the secrets. The deepest you been is the ocean. Now we been swimming in waters that's deeper than rivers. The Jordan, we creeping up on them. It's the 14th of the month. Bone Thugs one day late for the show. Oh. Ain't never been out, ever since Red Pen Pals. You too late, you let them in now. We like veterans, because that's power. These secrets only come through steady, no regrets. We walk through water like Jesus. We raising the dead, you see this. Look at this evening pose. Blood on the post. 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 Blood on the post.
We hold in post, chopping the doctrines, they ain't coming close. They had the 3 strikes like I wanted Franco. We're Rochelle toast, wisdom is better than silver and gold. This water is knocking down wicked Pharaoh. Can't swim through the sea, man, that fan was too slow. Pharaoh was sober-minded, think he came and go. Escape on a starry night, Victor Van Gogh. Living good unchained like Quincy Django. Strippers down in the hood, now they wanna tango. Death angels coming close, so watch your back, bro. Watch your back, bro. We grilling that lamb, we gon' eat that. That better herb, we gon' eat that. Doing this till you how I come and see that. We that. Oh.
Blood on the post. 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 The Pesach and Nissan. We found faith in Misraim. We got to be strong. Walking through water, pray we don't sink. Strapped up, boots tight. Walking up right, boy, we don't lean. Walking up right, boy, we don't lean. Walking up right, boy, we don't lean. Walking up right, boy, we don't lean.
Shalom, 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 Yasha Allah. Welcome back to another Milk Mondays. I am Officer Kanak Ban Yasharala, and as always, I have here with me the mighty Captain
Allah. Oh yeah, Allah Yasha Allah Bandan.
There you go, there you go. Hey, it's another Milk Monday, y'all. It's another Milk Monday. We got a pretty interesting debunking class for you today. But before we get started, before we get off the title, I want to first give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem HaMashiach Yahweh Shai. I want to thank everyone for always being diligent and coming to class and learning about our heritage, our culture, our God, coming back to the Most High God's laws, statutes, and commandments. So before we do get started, I want to give out a few announcements. We just had our 9th month new moon. We had our new moon class December 1st. Today's the 2nd. So I hope everyone was able to at least be able to attend that class. If not, you can always go back and watch it. But also we have some other events coming up. Let me go ahead and pull this up for you real quick. Pull our calendar up. It's Feast Day and New Moon calendar. And our next feast day, right? Our next feast day will be the Feast of Dedication on December 26th. This will be taking place in North Carolina. That's Greensboro, North Carolina. We'll be having that taking place from December 26th all the way through the weekend. Anyone who wants to attend, please do so. Email us at anointedhos@gmail.com. Let us know that you would like to be attending. We are also asking for any donations from anyone that can help with our school and with us giving out to the community in the Greensboro area. So we're looking forward to that. All praises. Hope you were able to attend for that. All right. Also, any brothers who are wanting to put their brick in and do the work with the Anointed House of Saints, you can do so by sending us your request
to be in the prospect phase at anointedhos@gmail.com. That's anointedhos@gmail.com. In the subject line, please put prospect phase, and we will get that information to you as soon as we start the next prospect phase. All right.
Do that ASAP because it's gonna be starting sometime next month or this month. We ended this month, sometime this month. So
count all praise.
If you haven't done it, if you sent me a message and you see this, still send us an email and put, like you said, prospect in the subject header.
Just froze a little bit there. Yeah,
my
a little
bad.
froze. Come on, StreamYard, don't mess with us now. But hey, let me go ahead and give you shout outs.
Can you see me? Am I good?
Yeah, you good. You good, Cap. You good.
That's crazy. But yeah, just put the subject as prospect. If you even sent me some on Instagram or something like that, still do that. You know what I mean? Send an email so we have you.
Count all praises. I'm gonna go ahead and run through these shout outs. We don't have too many people on, and we can go ahead and get class started. Let me give first shout out also always to Sister Joan Gilchrist. Shalom to you, sis. To the mighty Officer Casadia. Shalom to you, brother. To the lovely Sister Malka Yapa, House of Yahawada, Captain Yahawada. Shalom to you, sis. Shalom to the mighty soldier Araya out in the bay. Shalom to the mighty captain out in the bay, Shaquat, Captain Shaquat. Shalom to the mighty first officer in Dallas, Kadar Aharon, doing mighty work. Shalom to the lovely and helpful and diligent Sister Josephina Israel. Shalom to you, sis. Also to the lovely Sister Dawn. Shalom. Again, shalom to the lovely Sister El. Shalom to the mighty soldier Gary, be like ants. Shalom to Brother James Collier. Shalom to World Without End. Shalom to the mighty officer Boaz Banyasharala. Shalom to the mighty soldier DTA. Salaki, that's the soldier Nadia down in Georgia. Shalom to you. I don't see anyone else. Anyone else comes in, I will try to shout you out at the end of class. But today's class is titled Hebrew Israelites Debunk, Testify Apologetics. Now, I'm not familiar with this guy, but Captain Allah pulled this out, and I guess this guy claimed that he could debunk the Hebrew Israelites in a 1 minute short. So we're going to show that he's all the way wrong about this. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get class started. Remember, we usually bring out precepts. We're Israelite schools. So get your Bible, highlight these precepts, write them down, go over them with your family after class or, on another day. So you can be edified with this information. But without further ado, Captain, when you're ready, we can go ahead and get started.
All right. Shalom. All right. So yeah, shalom, y'all. Of course, we want to start by giving all honor and praise and glory to the Most High Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahweh.
God.
Today, I don't even know this dude, right? But the video was sent to me because we still got people coming into the truth, right? And for some reason, when they come into the truth, the things they're looking up is debunking Israelites. I guess to see if there's somebody that could find out, or if they could find out somebody that has debunked us to see if we're wrong about something, right? So yeah, a friend of mine sent me this, and basically said, we'll do a video on it, right? A couple of points. You guys have heard them before, but the main reason why I want to go over this is because if you haven't noticed, Vocab Malone is making a reappearance in the Israelite community now. Just did the debate with Captain Taz a couple weeks ago, right? Or maybe last week, whatever. It was recently, but he did the little debate with him and that other white guy. I forget his name, Anthony Rogers or something like that. Mr. Rogers, right? Hey neighbor. Right. So that guy was with Vocab and Taz and Big Benjamin over there. So we got a situation where there's a question that they keep wanting to ask us. That's not what the class is about, but this question is what's going to get them in front of Israelite camps again, right? If you know anything about Vocab and the people that follow him and the people that I guess look up to him to be the savior for the people that could debunk the Israelites, or for the the people that want to debunk the Israelites, rather, because nobody's done it yet. But Vocab is basically the guy that, you know, everybody's looking to be able to do that if anybody's going to be in that position. So this question of, you know, the father, whether he was the father before Hamashiach Yahushua was created, is going to get them back in front of camps, right? Because for the last couple of years, we haven't seen them in front of camps, really. They haven't been making their appearances like they did during COVID and all that type of stuff and before COVID, because he does these little stretches where, you know, he'll catch us, a question will be asked that we might not have heard before. Then we find a way to debunk the question, and then they don't show up no more once they get hit with it a couple times, when they get hit with the answer, right? So now they have a new question that they're going to try to use debunk people. Again, that's not what this class is about, but this video that we're going to watch is a video from somebody that did two things. This guy, Testify Apologetics, from what I see, he follows Vocab. He also follows damn, what's that dude's name? It's another guy.
That's Sam Shimon, is it?
Yeah, Sam Shimon.
Oh, okay.
Right. So he follows Vocab, he follows Sam Shimon, and there's another group that Sam Shimon works with. It's called I think it's Islam or something like that, where they basically debunk Muslims. So he does that on his channel too, right? So there's Christian apologetics, and you know, he goes against the Israelites and he goes against Muslims, and I guess other Christians that don't believe what he believes. So he made a 1-minute video about Israelites, debunking the Israelites in 1 minute. So we're gonna play the video and basically debunk whatever he debunked in 1 minute. You know what I mean? So without further ado, we're gonna, just by the illustrations, I could tell he's racist as hell. Right? There's no black people on his whole channel. They're all white people when you go on there, because there's like pictures of some of them on the videos and stuff, so that you can see who's talking. And you know, they're all white people. And the way he talks about us is like we're the ones. He basically says, he's gonna say, quote, they say that there's fake Jews, but they're the ones actually doing cosplay of the Jews. So he makes it seem like, yeah, like he's basically gonna make it seem like, and what he's made it seem like in other videos is like we're just a bunch of black guys that like to scream on the streets, probably don't have any jobs, and we're into cosplay, but not like Pokemon characters and, you know, Power Rangers and Naruto and all that BS that folks be doing. It's Hebrew Israelites. We're cosplaying Jewish people, right? So even though there's no Jewish people that dress how we dress, I ain't never seen one wearing one of these before.
Nah.
But you know, that's what they say. So yeah, I want you guys to listen to the video, you know, make your own opinions of it. The things that he's gonna say, they're pretty easy to debunk for people that have been in the truth for a while, but people that haven't been in the truth at all or are new to it, like my friend, it might sound like, well, damn, if it says this, how the hell are they gonna get past this, right? So I just wanted to make the video because we didn't actually have anything debunking these specific points that he's gonna make. So let's get it.
Pointing to Deuteronomy.
And as you see, it's got 9.6 thousand likes. So just to put that in perspective.
Deuteronomy 28:68 as their proof. Let's set the record straight. That verse talks about returning to Egypt by ships. After Jerusalem. You've probably seen those angry street preachers claiming African Americans are the true Israelites, pointing to Deuteronomy 28:68 as their proof. Let's set the record straight. That verse talks about returning to Egypt by ships. After Jerusalem fell in 70 AD, many Jews were literally shipped off to Egypt and sold as slaves. This directly fulfills the prophecy in its historical context. But here's the thing, the verse also says, but no one will buy you. During the transatlantic slave trade, enslaved Africans were in high demand. They were bought and sold extensively. This fact doesn't line up with the prophecy at all. Plus, Deuteronomy 28 lists numerous curses for disobedience. Cherry-picking one verse while ignoring the rest of Deuteronomy 28 is a surefire way to misinterpret the text. So while these groups accuse others of being fake Jews, they're really just cosplaying as Jews themselves. Plus, according to the Apostle Paul, under the New Covenant, A true Jew is one who is inwardly a Jew, whose circumcision is by the Spirit. You've probably seen those angry street preachers claiming.
All right.
God.
Makes
A
sense.
lot of problems with that.
A lot of stuff he said in 1 minute.
Right.
So I thought it was interesting. I said, okay, we could go over this. And like I said, the pictures are very interesting. This is what he drew as Hamashiach Yahushua, right?
Which is
like, looks like an illustration from a Cartoon Network Adult Swim TV show.
But you know what, Captain? It does fit Revelation 1, though.
I mean, yeah, it does, but the way he drew him, though,
right?
It's like he's a crackhead version of Revelation 1. Like,
right?
He made his eyes bloodshot red on purpose.
Right?
Like, bro, it's crazy. He's got his mouth open to make him seem like he's screaming, and he's in New York City.
Many waters.
And he's in New York City. And he's got a GMS garment on that says Yahushua.
He said GMS.
African Americans are the true Israelites, pointing to Deuteronomy 28:68 as their proof. Let's set the record straight. That verse talks about returning to Egypt by ships after Jerusalem.
So, Deuteronomy 28:68. Can you grab that right quick, Knock? Let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to debunk it. It's only a minute, so we're going to go piece by piece, part by part, line by line. Here a little, there a little of his bull.
God. This is
Coach
the book.
That was terrible. Yeah, it was.
Right. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And it reads, "And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you."
Now, my question is this, right? Because what we're going to hear him say is that this prophecy was fulfilled because Jews were shipped during 70 AD to Egypt, right? If Jews were shipped, which we're going to debunk that completely, just with a simple Google search and AI. Thanks to the AI overview. Shout out to Elon Musk and all them crackers up there and everything, right? Mark Zuckerberg and all them people, right? So look, this whole thing with the Deuteronomy 28:68, right? And the Egypt being a thing. They read Josephus. Josephus told us that there were Israelites, that fled to Egypt. And there were some that were sent to Egypt in captivity. As far as using ships, it's never actually mentioned, which we're going to prove with the AI overview. But aside from that, there's a part of the prophecy, right? They like to say we cherry pick prophecies. There's a part of the prophecy that doesn't make sense for Egypt as an actual Egypt, right? They want to say that we got shipped, the Israelites got shipped to Egypt in 70 AD. Okay, if this is true, my question would be, when did the Egyptians in 70 AD get to buy us from the white people and get to go back and forth selling us on auction blocks and stuff? Right. Where we bought and sold in high demand in 70 AD. What you're going to see him do here is flip from 70 AD. He's going to jump from 70 AD and be talking about 70 AD in one instance. And then for the rest of Deuteronomy 28:68, where it talks about them going into captivity on ship and slaves buying them, right? Well, and people buying them, he's going to go into the no man shall buy you part, which is part of the same scripture. And he's going to jump to the way that so-called African Americans were bought, right, in high demand, even though he has a false understanding of what shall buy you is going to mean, and we're going to prove that as well. Right. But point I'm trying to make is he told us not to cherry pick, and I want you guys to realize and just pay attention to the fact that he's going to break down one prophecy, right, Deuteronomy 28:68, but he's going to incorporate two different time periods as if they're one and make it seem like we can't do that. Right? We don't even incorporate two different time periods as if they're one. We just speak on both time periods and show you how this prophecy was cyclical, right?
That's right.
The Most High's judgment is likened to a ring.
Ring.
So it keeps happening over and over and over again. You know, like how the YouTube a buffer in a circle just go in a, like it just go like this, right? That's what the Most High's judgment is like for the Israelites. We buffer. You see how my yeah, like how YouTube's doing me right now. See that? So look, this is the point. I want you guys to
Let's set the record straight. That verse talks about returning to Egypt by ships. After Jerusalem fell in 70 AD, many Jews were literally shipped off to Egypt and sold as slaves.
70 AD. Millions of Jews were literally shipped off to Egypt and sold as slaves. But why would they need to be sold as slaves if the people that took them into captivity were the slave owners in Egypt? It's not like Egypt was this place like America where it was multiple people ruling at the same time and you could just do what you want. This guy's a slave master, that guy's a slave master. No, nigga, it's a pharaoh. And their name was Ptolemy. Right? Antiochus took over for a little while. You had Caligula, you know what I'm saying? Alexander before all of them. Like, but while they was in control, it was that person that was in control. Nobody ruling but them while they on the scene. So who are they selling you to? They selling you to themselves? Or do they just have slaves working in their territory? Which one makes more sense to you, Knock? Since you're the only one on the stream with me.
As far as, I mean, we know what it means, right? We know that the slaves going on ships back into Egypt is more metaphorical as opposed to being a physical place to go back to.
But I'm saying, as far as what I just said, like, do it make more sense for it to be them going back to Egypt as far as like, okay, well, let me put it like this, right? If Ptolemy is ruling, right? Who is Ptolemy going to be selling his Egyptian slaves to if he's the pharaoh of Egypt?
Right.
Is he going to be selling them to anybody? Or is he just going to have his slaves working for him in Egypt because he's the pharaoh of Egypt?
Right. It would make sense for him to have the slaves that he already has.
Is he going to be selling his slaves to Antipater, who he hates?
God, no, lie.
Is he going to be selling his slaves to Seleucus, who he hates?
Lie.
Just because they all worked for Alexander don't mean they liked each other, people. They didn't. If you know the history, they tried to kill each other many times. After he died, that's all it was. It was inter-wars. That's how Rome fell.
Okay.
Right? So, fact of the matter is, this prophecy couldn't have taken place when he talked about because the selling us part didn't happen in Egypt.
God.
We didn't get sold to our enemies because there wasn't no enemies to sell us to. We were taken captive by whichever, visor or Diadochi that had his people come and get us, right? If we're talking about Egypt, it would have been Ptolemy or Antiochus or Caligula during this time period, depending on which phase of people going to Egypt. Right? And none of them was selling their slaves to anybody. They were keeping them and making them work. Caligula was having sex with them, the boys and the girls and everybody.
Crazy.
That's him.
Yeah.
What's the other dude? Nero, same thing.
Yep.
Antiochus, he ran Egypt for a little bit. So it's like he made one of the Ptolemies run away. You think Antiochus is selling his slaves? The guy that made us call ourselves Antiochians? What we look like being sold as Antiochians to Antipater? That don't even make sense. He's calling us the Antiochians to put a stamp on us. It's like having and then you get a seal. Yeah, and then you get the anti-ocean seal on your ass. You a slave to him. You're not getting sold to nobody else. You know what I'm saying? That ain't how that worked back then. Back there, that's not how that was. Here is different, right? You didn't get your brand until they knew they wasn't gonna need to sell you anymore. I don't think I've ever seen a slave with multiple brands. It could be a thing, but I don't think I've ever seen it, is what I'm saying. Knock, if you've seen a slave with 2-3 brands on their body, then you could let me know too. But I've just never seen it. Right.
This directly fulfills the prophecy in its historical context. But here's the thing. The verse also says, but no one will buy you. During the transatlantic slave trade, enslaved Africans were in high demand. They were bought and sold extensively.
You see? So he uses 2 different time periods to break down one scripture because he can't really break down this scripture using the Egyptian time period. Notice he didn't have no pictures to show of the slaves being sold on auction blocks in Egypt, right? Those don't exist because it didn't happen. You duck monkey, right? But I want to go back before we get the bayou part. Let's go back to this right quick.
Sold as slaves. This directly fulfills the prophecy in its historical context.
So he said millions of them were sold as slaves. It directly fulfills the prophecy in its historical context. Let's see something right quick. Because we got AI now, right? Once again, for those of you guys that don't know what the AI overview is for, the good old AI overview simply just tells you, you know, what the best possible answer is based on what Google has in its search engine, based off the topic that you decided to search, right? So let's see. It's just, I did a couple of searches, right? One of them, ironically, doesn't want to pop up, but I took a screenshot of it just in case that happens. So we have it, right? So we got, question was, Jews after 70 AD were taken on ships to Egypt. It says the following. Following the destruction of the Second Temple in 70 AD, a significant number of Jews were indeed forced to flee to Egypt by the Romans. So far, we don't see a ship. Where they settled primarily in the Nile Delta region. You know anything about the Nile Delta, which is going to show us about in the next slide. It didn't want to pop up. You didn't need a ship to get there. It was a peninsula that you could walk on.
Right.
Marking the beginning of a large Jewish diaspora community in Egypt, which also is what Rudolph Windsor talks about when they went past Egypt into West Africa, which is really what happened because they didn't settle in Egypt, right? Josephus told us that they went to Egypt. He didn't say that they settled in Egypt. This whole large Jewish Egypt community is something that they injected in here that didn't come from Josephus. Just like Josephus didn't say ships. That's also something that they injected because of the prophecy, because they don't want it to be us, right? Josephus never said they was put on ships to go into Egypt because he knew that didn't happen, right? They fled. This says fled. It doesn't even say they were forced into captivity.
Something happened to him. I'm not sure what happened. I think he, hold on one second. I'm not sure what happened to Captain but he was going into
Egypt was a place of, a place you go to hide out. It ain't a place
kind
that you go to.
Kind of lost you for a second, Cap. At least on my end. You might want to repeat what you were.
Let me make sure. Did everybody lose me? Put a 7 in the chat if y'all heard what I said, if y'all lost me. We'll say put a 7 in the chat if y'all heard me. Put a 3 in the chat if y'all didn't hear me. Lost you. All right, cool. Wow. Don't know what the hell going on. All right, well, I'll repeat myself. What's the last thing you heard, Knock?
You were saying about going into the captivity. Basically, you were talking about what from Babylon to Timbuktu was speaking on.
Wow. Okay, so Babylon and Timbuktu talks about how we went into captivity, right? From Egypt. We fled into the mountains. The mountains were in Egypt. So this is telling you that a significant number of Israelites, according to Rudolph Windsor, it was over 1 million, right? That were forced to flee to the mountains, which were in Egypt. We didn't settle in these mountains, but we fled there, and that's where we ended up. Now to show you guys this part, this didn't want to pop up, but Jews fled to Egypt in 70 AD on foot. Yes, following the destruction of Second Temple in Jerusalem by the Romans in 70 AD, a significant number of Jews fled to Egypt on foot. All it did was finish the sequence and tell you what Josephus actually said. This is the exact same sentence. It just added on foot, seeking refuge from the Roman persecution, right? So it doesn't even say that they were taken into captivity to Egypt. These people fled there like Jesus did, like everybody did, really, after we left the Exodus. Anytime somebody went to Egypt, it was because they was going to do what? Flee, right? Not for captivity.
Right.
Josephus, who was a Jew, knew that, which is why he wrote flee, not captivity. So that's simple debunking, right? That wouldn't fulfill the prophecy if it was talking about Egypt back in 70 AD, because nobody went into captivity to Egypt in 70 AD. Israel's fled that direction because in Luke, Hamashiach Yahushua, who you call Jesus Christ, told them to do that.
That's right.
Right? So what's that, 20 and 21 or something like that?
Yeah, I was gonna pull it up.
But that's that, right? So I wanted to show you that. For some reason, this part of the AI overview don't want to pop up, but y'all see the same thing.
24.
It's even continuing. This event is well documented by Roman, we're not even gonna say that, by Jewish historian Josephus, who describes the large-scale exodus of Jews from Judea after the Roman siege. Can't believe they called him Roman. You people are full of crap. That was a disgrace. How dare they? Nobody ever called Josephus a Roman.
Captain, that was Matthew 24 and 15.
No, I'm talking about the one in Luke.
Oh, the one in Luke? Oh, it's like...
There's one in Luke 20 and 21.
You're right. Same account.
But what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So let's go ahead and get this right quick. Pull this video back up. All right.
But here's the thing. The verse also says, but no one will buy you. During the transatlantic slave trade, enslaved Africans were in high demand. They were bought and sold extensively.
So you got the black guy crying on the screen and Johnny, crazy, man.
This fact doesn't line up with the prophecy at all. Plus, Deuteronomy 20.
Wait a minute. That's all he says?
That's all he says about the black people. And then he cherry picked a verse, which was Deuteronomy 28:68, and then decided to give two half-ass breakdowns of it. And because the breakdowns were so half-assed, he had to use two different time periods to break down one time period that he was trying to say is only about one time period.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to say we can't make it about us, but then he went to our time period to show that it's not about us, but then went to Deuteronomy. Had to go to 70 AD to prove that it wasn't about us, instead of just using this time period.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So let's see. Let me show you something right quick. Take this off the screen. Because he says something about the bayou, which is something that a lot of the Christians bring up a lot. Christians like to bring this up because it makes it seem like when you bring this up in Deuteronomy 28, that no man shall buy you, right? That we're saying we're not going to be bought. And they're like, well, damn, you niggas was bought. They teach about it every February. Like, how's this talking about y'all? It's because we're not taught to look into context clues and to look at etymology and to look at what the actual, reference and context is that the word is being used in. and if there's other contexts that it can be used in, so that we can, properly match up which one this is being, like which one's being used here in this particular situation. So the word is kwana, right? Kana. So if you go and knock, can you put that up?
What's that? What do you want
Like,
to pull
can
up?
you read it? Deuteronomy 28:68.
Want me to read Deuteronomy 28? This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 68.
And when you get to the part about the bayou part, I want you to stop, because you're going to read that over and over again with the words I'm going to make you fill in.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 68 again. And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
All right, no man shall get you.
And no man shall buy you.
No. I want you to say what I'm saying, because I'm using the words on the screen. These are the words that this could mean. Okay, so we have buy you is one. All right. Now, what's this? Read it as in no man shall.
And no man shall get you.
Okay, no man shall
purchase you.
Okay, so no, we know that it ain't those, right? Because, well, we were purchased, we were got. But something else that it shows, right? We have recover, redeem, right? Recover and redeem. No man shall recover or redeem you. Right? Did that happen? All of these other contexts are in context with somebody being owned. We know it's not talking about that. If it says that you're going to go into captivity, that can't mean what that's talking about. That would mean it's a contradiction in the sentence, you duck monkeys. It says that you will be sold unto your enemies, but then no man will buy you. And y'all think that it's talking about buy, get, purchased, buyer, possessor, possessed, and owner? That can't be what it's talking about. That would mean that God is the author of confusion, because that's awfully confusing to say we're going to be purchased, but nobody going to buy us. And it means that we actually not going to be bought, but we just got purchased.
Right.
That don't make sense.
Salakia.
So obviously, hold on. So what it has to mean is recover or redeem. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I mean, you can actually look at the context of 28 of chapter 28, right? You start at verse 64. It starts off with saying, and the Lord shall scatter thee among all people. As you read all the way down to 68, it's talking about and. So we already knew that the scriptures were saying that we're going to be in captivity, right? So for him to try and say that this is not that we weren't, no one's going to buy us, it goes totally against his understanding. That's what I'm trying to show.
Yeah, it does. Simply because, you can't be bought and purchased. Well, you can't be not bought and purchased at the same time.
God.
If he says we're going to be purchased and no man shall buy you, obviously they said buy you as in buy you back.
That's right.
This is old English. If you just got purchased and somebody buys you back, you've been redeemed. You've been recovered. Obviously, the translators of the King James didn't know that we were going to be speaking a new English. They thought we would always speak old English. So we would know that when it says purchased and then says no man shall buy you, after you got purchased, if no man shall buy you, it has to be no man shall recover you, or you won't be redeemed in our language today.
God.
That's what that meant. Right? Which is why they put it there. But Strong's being who they are, right? They are white and they are Jewish and they are Christian and they run the agenda of the devil, the deceiver. So they're going to put all this other stuff here in the times that it's used in the Bible, and they're going to put everything under Strong's H7069. Right?
God.
And that's what it's going to be. And it's going to be up to you to decide which context makes sense. Well, obviously, there's only two that make sense for this sentence: recover or redeem, which basically are synonyms. They mean the same damn thing. Were you going to say something else?
Yeah. I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question. It's dealing with Deuteronomy, dealing with the curses. If you go back to Deuteronomy 32, right? And it reads, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, right? My question is, do we honestly believe that these children were just given over, or were they possibly sold at one time? You know what I'm saying? So
you looking at it deeper than what they looking at it, because they ain't never read Deuteronomy 28:32. So they not gonna know that even says that.
Right, but they
just
tried
looking at what we have in Deuteronomy 28:68 because we bring it up all the time.
So I was going into the fact that he said that we cherry pick, right? We cherry pick Deuteronomy 28. So that means that there's no other scriptures that can actually show, right? But when you go to Deuteronomy 32 or 28:32, it gives you an example of one of the curses that were going to happen to us, right? And I actually, we got videos we can show even during slavery times in the 1800s, right? I got a video to show that too, if you want to pull it up. Just an example of that.
We'll wait. But yeah, I mean, that's facts. We're definitely able to, go through and show the different aspects of how we are the people and stuff like that, which we're going to kind of do that in this class today. But the main things I want to debunk is exactly what they talking about. Because when you talk to a Christian, they only come at us with the things that they know we talk about. And the things that they know we talk about is only the things that they understand. They understand that Israelites try to use Deuteronomy. They understand the Israelites try to use Deuteronomy 28 to, push our doctrine. And the main scripture that in their mind likens everything in Deuteronomy 28 to us is the slavery one. Because the only thing that everybody on earth associates black people with is slavery. We're not all associated with we could play basketball well. I didn't just go out, did I? You can hear me?
Yeah, I still hear you.
Okay, cool.
We froze a little bit, but you were still able to be heard.
Right. So, but like, yeah, they don't call us the best basketball players in the world, all of us. We're not all the best football players in the world, but we're all known, for eating fried chicken, watermelon,
right,
being loud,
mm-hmm.
and just right here.
Right.
So our people have to be in a situation where we understand that there's certain things we can use in life to, liken us to the Israelites, and we also have Deuteronomy 28. They know about Deuteronomy 28 and they know about slavery. So the main thing that they're going to come at you with is something to debunk the slavery part. The only thing they have to debunk it is what they read in the scripture, because they don't know to look at the context clues or anything like that. A regular Christian doesn't know about Blue Letter Bible, right? These regular Christians are going to be the ones coming at you because of the things that they're going to see Vocab Malone and all the apologetics doing now that they think they have a question that they could ask us that they think we're going to get stomped on, because it's happened twice now. Right? So, yeah. Let's move on. But y'all see that, right? Everybody sees that? How this word bayou doesn't mean, to buy you. And then you see how they were smart with it. They put for the biblical usage to get, acquire, create, buy, or possess.
Right.
But up here, one of the possible words is recover and one is redeem, but they don't have it as one of the biblical like it's one of the biblical usage words. You understand?
God.
This is why we don't trust Strongs completely. We don't use them. They're not the end all be all, because they are part of the agenda. You have to be able to dissect things that they put out here too in order to really find out what the scriptures are saying. And then when you get down here, you see everything that they're supposed to have, right? So, provoke to jealousy. They got all these different things that don't even have nothing to do with that. And notice they have X's by the ones it can't be. Surely or verily. But it could be any of these other ones. And notice recover and redeem are included in what it can be. But they don't include it anywhere up in the outline of the biblical usage. Why? Because they don't want you to know that it can be that. They want it to not make sense. My question would be, if this isn't the black people, when were the white people in Germany even sold?
Right.
You say we were sold, and it says no man shall buy you, right? But when were they even for sale? Hitler sold Jews, or did he just throw them in concentration camps? Who was he selling them to? Stalin? Mussolini?
Right.
Like, nah, it didn't happen. So you gotta, if it ain't us, who is it? You know? But we'll move on. Let's get back to the video.
If you want to show some other outside sources, Captain, I got some too.
Yeah, we are. I just want to finish debunking this first, and then we'll get all that stuff.
Okay.
I just want to do this in order.
Extensively. This fact doesn't line up with the prophecy at all. Plus, Deuteronomy 28 lists numerous curses for disobedience, cherry-picking one verse while ignoring the rest of Deuteronomy 28.
And then just see what he put for curse of disobedience, how fast it got off the screen.
Right.
He put disease, drought. Sorry for the closed caption. But he got disease, drought, defeat.
Loss of property.
This is crazy. Defeat, family taken away, which he just read about. Exile. Okay. So look, I don't even have to go to Deuteronomy 28 to read the scriptures about this because that would take too long, but we could just bring this out. So disease. We could put disease and famine in the same sentence, right?
Okay.
Hold on a second because I actually could pull this up right now. Wait a minute. Hold on just a holy second. Hold on. Because I looked this up. All right. West thinking famine. Bow. All right. And then one more. Famine. Wow. All right. Watch this, guys. So we got the disease, right? Disease, famine, and defeat. Right? Family taken away, exile. So for the disease and famine part, we're going to get both Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom real quick on the fly, right?
Man,
so you start from the north and you go down, we're going to start with the Northern Kingdom, right? Light-skinned brothers first. So famine in pre-European America. Watch this. Watch how eloquent this is. It says, while famine was not a widespread occurrence in pre-European Americas, there was instances of localized famines among Native American populations, primarily caused by severe drought, crop failures, or disruptions in traditional food sources due to environmental factors like extreme weather events impacting specific regions and tribes, depending on their reliance on particular food sources. Now watch this. Hold on. Wait. However, my nigga, the widespread devastation of famine significantly increased following the European colonization due to disease outbreaks and disruption of their traditional food systems, leading to large-scale population decline.
God.
We have disease and famine from the white man to the Native American, Hispanic community, Latino community, right? Watch it. We're talking about the black folks. This is simple AI research. Something he could have did. But he has 133,000 subscribers. When you got a following like that, even in Israel, you don't need to research stuff. Because when you got a cult following like that, most of the time you're going to have a bunch of people that just follow you and listen to whatever you say because they think you actually did the research. They trust you. Right? Watch this. Famine, West African famine during the Muslim conquest. Of course, you have to know a bit of history to even know about that situation. But since I know history, I know about that situation. And AI seems to know about it too. Watch this. Right. During the Muslim conquest of West Africa, who do you find in West Africa? That's why I specifically did this part. You find niggas in West Africa, right? Our people, right?
That's right.
Okay. Widespread famine was a significant consequence. Because they always say, oh, it can't be you guys. You guys came to America and didn't own anything. This wasn't talking about you. Well, look, niggas, now you got something you could point to, right? We had famine when you damn Muslims came over there and tried to make us all, worship the Quran and want 100,000 boy servants in heaven. Yeah. So it says widespread famine was a significant consequence, often caused by disruptions to agricultural practices, because the Muslims tried to do what we do but don't do what we do, due to warfare, displacement of populations, and the exploitation of conquered communities by the conquering forces, who were the Muslims, right, leading to food shortages and starvation across affected regions. This was particularly prevalent in the Sahel region, which is prone to drought and environmental challenges, further exacerbating the famine issue.
Okay.
West Africa, guys. How about that? So they say, we didn't own any land in America. That wasn't talking about y'all. Well, black people owned land in West Africa, and guess what? They had a famine. How about that? So we got that part of the prophecy out the way. We got the disease and the famine at the same damn time. What else he got on the screen? He got defeat. Well, if you're going through a disease and a famine, I think you got that part covered too. Plus, you conquered by the white people that brought the disease and the famine, and the Muslims that brought the disease and the famine. That's defeat like a mother trucker, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
Family taken away. Well, I mean, you want to read that Deuteronomy 28:32 one more time for the one time, just for the people, while I pull up this Tariq Alpha Tizash.
God, I got something to go with that Deuteronomy 32.
You could bring that out then. Okay. Is it a long video? The thing you're trying to show?
No, it's like 2 minutes.
Okay, that's fine.
Let me grab Deuteronomy real quick.
We already on here longer than I wanted to be.
But I got some resources though that lean right into the fact of us, because we brought this out in another class that actually goes and debunks totally what he said. Because we have do you remember the Lisbon situation in Portugal and in the exile of so we got that written in actual secondary resources for them. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 32 again, and it reads, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. No might in thine hand, right?
They defeated. Their children get taken away, right?
We're familiar with this, right? Just to add to that, we're familiar with this.
And then loss of community, right? Loss of property. So if they're coming to steal your stuff, so far, every single prophecy you put on there, we fit. Before we even got to America. Watch this. Right? Hey, bro. Chill out.
Ah, Mr. Ford. Splendid seeing you, sir. What catches your fancy? This lounge is very brawny. Huh?
How much the ones Platt and Eliza?
1,000 for Platt. This is a nigger of considerable talent, I assure you. 700 for Eliza? My fairest price?
You will accept the note?
Please,
of course,
sir,
from you, Mr.
do not
Ford.
divide my family. Do not take me unless you take my children.
Eliza, quiet!
You will have the most faithful slave of me, the most
Eliza.
faithful slave that's ever lived, but I beg that you
Your
do
price
not
for the
separate
boy.
us. Please.
Stop it. I will give you something to cry about. Randall, come forward. Come. Now, you see how fit this boy is. Like ripe fruit. May I take your stick a moment? Observe this, Randall. Jump, run. Very good. Higher. You see this? Very likely. He will grow into a fine beast. 600.
Hiya! Come on, Randall.
Done. Superb. A moment, please. Mr. Ford.
Please.
Eliza.
How much for the little girl? Well, you have no use for her. One so young will bring you no profit.
No. I cannot sell the girl. No, there's heaps and piles of money to be made from her. She's a beauty, one of the regular bloods. None of your thick-lipped, bullet-headed, cotton-picking niggers here.
A child, man.
Please.
For God's sake, you're not sentimental in the least.
My sentimentality extends the length of a coin. Now, do you take this lot, Mr. Ford, or do you pass on them?
Please, please.
I will take the ones Platt and Eliza.
Sold, Eliza and Platt. Splendid.
You will not say that from me.
All right. I didn't know he was going to show us that. I thought he was going to show us something else. But all right.
Well, there's the other one where she's sitting on the porch, longing for her children after they were sold and taken from her.
No, I ain't want to see nothing about no people getting their kids taken away. I thought you was going to show us something about them being Israelites. But
oh, well, I do have that.
Well, now we got to wait. That's what I thought you was going to show right now.
No, Salaki. I just wanted to show that, but I wanted to show that Deuteronomy 28:32. Go ahead.
All right. So we got the Jews of Beilat al-Sudan, right? This is from the Tariq al-Fatash. It's a book in the Dutch that I tell you guys about all the time, made by, Dutch historians that went to go look at us in West Africa after the Muslim conquest because they were going to go buy the first group of slaves from the Muslims, right? So when it talks about in Amos, Tyre and Zidon selling us to them, it's because these Muslims that were selling us weren't actually Ishmaelites. They were, Africans that were selling us to these people, right? That had already converted and everything like that willingly. They went over to West Africa, basically took over the land, and basically made us either have to force convert to Islam or we got shipped out as Israelites. And the Tariq al-Fatash is a book that explains that verbatim, right? But it's not in English. So it's hard for us to read it, right? So you got to have somebody that speaks Dutch or reads it in Arabic or whatever version they could get it in order for them to see what it says. But AI tells you what it's about, right? And we read, according to the 17th century Tariq al-Fatash, which is 1600s, so it's an old book, and the Tariq al-Sudan, Tariq al-Sudan. So they got Tariq al-Fatash, which is West Africa, and they got Tariq al-Sudan, which is like the Middle Africa, which the Sudan also is, to the Muslim people, it's blacks, right? That's how they said that. So Beilat el-Sudan is land of the black, right? So that's what that means. So you got Tariq al-Fatash, Tariq al-Sudan says several Jewish communities existed as parts of the Ghana, Mali, and later Songhai empires. Mm-hmm. So Ghana empire is a big time empire. Mali's big time empire. That's Mansa Musa and them. And then you got Songhai empire, which is a Sikh Muhammad, right? And the Sikh Muhammad actually was responsible for selling a lot of these people. He wanted them to convert to Islam, and they didn't do it. And he actually records that in his particular land during the Songhai Empire, there were 7 Hebrew chiefs that he sold into captivity.
God.
So that's a little bit of history. And as you see, it's particularly in West Africa, Ghana, Mali, and Songhai. So, and you see their Jewish communities in 1600. Wasn't even no Balfour Declaration or no Jewish people in Judaism yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and that and to add to your point, Captain, that's also the cycle that's being shown. That's during the what you said, the 1600s, 17th century.
Yes. Yep.
So we also know this happened somewhat also of the exile of the Jews coming out of Spain and Portugal.
Yeah,
which took place in the 1400s, and we have resources on that also.
Thanks.
Which I can pull them up real quick, and it'll show that the Jews were Negroes.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. Hold it, because I just want to go through the video.
God.
I only got 30 seconds left.
Cherry picking one verse while ignoring the rest of Deuteronomy 28 is a surefire way to misinterpret the text.
As we saw, we ain't the ones that did that, right?
So while these groups accuse others of being fake Jews, they're really just cosplaying as Jews themselves. Plus, according to the Apostle Paul, under the New Covenant, a true Jew is one who is inwardly a Jew, whose circumcision is by the Spirit. You've probably seen
Yeah.
I don't even know where he got that from. That
Yeah, you just wanted to say something that sounded smart at the end.
Right.
So when you look up Negro here, I'm just gonna show you guys these right quick. Now I'll let Knox show his resources, and we might get like 2 or 3 of these scriptures. We ain't gonna need all of these because
this is simple.
Yeah. I was gonna go into how we are not the Africans and stuff, but I don't even gotta take that angle because it's no need. Let me see. Negro land Jews, right? I spelled Negro land wrong too. That's messed up. Sorry. But look, as soon as you type in Negro land Jews, even though America is not Negro land and Negro land's in Africa, who the first people that pop up?
Right.
And we know that Negro land Jews are a real thing, right?
Yep.
This is actually a real thing. It's a map that they use to put us in captivity. It's Negro.
That's right.
land.
Still there, Kenny? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just trying to pull it up. This is the Negro land map, right? So this is a newer one, but these are Negro land and Guinea with the European settlements explaining what belongs to England, Holland, Denmark by H. Mall, geographer. 1729 map. And there were 2 of these. This one, and then one that was a little bit more detailed by one of, I think it was King Edward's map makers. He's the one that put the Jews in that thing. So, yep, pretty interesting. But the Negro land Jews, as we saw, the ones that pop up, it's always, us. So, oh, that's why you the one that put it. Okay, cool. Let's move that right quick. All right, and what else did I want to show? Okay, so look, last thing, 2 more things. So we got the Smithsonian Museum. Everybody know what the Smithsonian is?
God.
Smithsonian is an institution, world-renowned museum and research complex, right? It's like the biggest museum in America. Got the best researchers. That black picture I showed you of Louis XV and Louis XVI and Louis XIV, they come from the Smithsonian Museum, right? Something else that the Smithsonian has in writing, because they got a book institution too. They got the Smithsonian Book Research Center, right? And the Smithsonian Library catalog. Right. Oh, it don't want to pop up now? Okay. They copied the literal publication from Rudolph R. Windsor's book, Babylon to Timbuktu.
Wow.
In the excerpt about the black Jews. And they put it on the Smithsonian Library's catalog for black Jews. And it tells you the book. This publication is called Original Black Jews, but the book, Babylon to Timbuktu, A History of the Ancient Black Races, including the Black Hebrews. Chapter 4, pages 35 to 51. So they ain't had no problem putting that in the Smithsonian. And you know what? American Records also ain't had no problem putting certain things out there because they got whole plaques with us being called Israelites like Israel Hill, right? According to AI, Israel Hill was a community of free black people in Prince Edward County, Virginia, established in 1810. Slavery still going on. The community was founded by Judith Randolph after her husband Richard Randolph, who's a cousin of Thomas Jefferson, died and left his slaves free in his will. The residents of Israel Hill called themselves Israelites and treated the land as their promised land. Ironically, it says in AI that they called themselves Israelites, right? But the plaque doesn't say it. Get away from me. Zoom in on this thing. Y'all can still see that? No. Okay, hold on. Hold up a second. All right, let me put this up right here.
I can blow it up if you need me to. The actual plaque.
Okay.
If you want it.
Let me see what that looks like. Well, can y'all see that? I just want to show that it don't say that they called themselves Israelites. We're Israelites right here.
Yeah.
Right? It says, I'll read it to you. Just to the west lies Israel Hill, settled in 1810 to 1811. Does it say that? It's just the... It might actually say it here. Yeah, okay, this is the actual excerpt. All right, bet. So it says, here to the left lies Israel Hill, settled in 1810 to 1811 by approximately 90 former enslaved persons who received freedom and 350 acres from Judith Randolph under the will of her husband Richard Randolph, cousin of Thomas Jefferson. These Israelites and other free African Americans worked as farmers, craftspeople, and approximate river boatmen.
Appomattox.
Okay, yeah, whatever that is.
Appomattox River.
So that river boatmen. Some labored alongside whites for equal wages and defended their rights in court. It says these Israelites, not these people called themselves Israelites and free African Americans. They're calling them that. And that's from the Department of History of the Department of Historic Resources. They put this plaque up in 2009. YouTube was just getting big in 2009. Only people that was on the internet really preaching this thing was GMS and Zabak. A couple other people. So it wasn't like they had a reason to lie about it. Barack Obama president. Everybody think he black anyway.
Right.
So they had no reason to lie if this was true. I mean, not true. Wasn't no reason to, throw some coup out there to make everybody be deceived by who the Israelites are. Wasn't no vocab Malone yet or no apologetics. So there was no reason to put out any type of deception. It just wasn't the case. The fact they said these Israelites are not these people called themselves Israelites had to mean that their history shows that somebody was calling them Israelites besides themselves.
Right.
So I just wanted to show y'all that. Of course, we had other presets or other things that we could pull out as far as what they went through and how they were doing the curses together and stuff like that. But I just wanted to, it only makes sense to break down what you put on the screen. Why do more work than we have to, right?
Right.
So go ahead, Nat. What you was gonna bring up?
Yeah. I just want to show, just to add more emphasis to his false claims and no scholarship at all whatsoever.
It's crazy. So we even need the Bible for this.
Right. And so we have some resources that we can actually use, right? So let me pull this up real quick. Let's see. Pull it up right here. I'm going to pull this up first, right? And this is from a book called The History of the Jews of Spain and Portugal, from the earliest times to their final expulsion from those kingdoms, right? I'm going to fly through this so it doesn't take too long. It says here, those of a different opinion acknowledged that what had been said was true, but that it was not without reason that the Jews had been banished from Spain, France, England, Scotland, Denmark, Norway, Sweden.
Oh,
go ahead, Cap.
Because you know, people say I love Elder Matatua, but he tried to tell me, no, brother, wasn't no, you heard of the Antilles? Wasn't no Jews in Denmark, brother. I love you, though.
Right.
I love you.
Right.
I love you. I'm just saying. So these was them Danes, right? So they were still Jews. They were still Israelites. People knew they were to be like, people still knew them to be people that kept the law to an extent, right? So same people that went to France. And then we got the Angles, you know, the Anglo-Saxons, Spain, Portugal, Scotland, right? Norway was Dane too. Sweden, Dane. So, of course, Germany's in. Yeah, I was about to say Germany and them got to be included in them. Belarus, Burgundy, right? So the Flanders.
Now Flanders,
that
would be the Netherlands.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So all them places that connect, and Russia's included there too, but they probably not thinking the niggas if it went that far. But you know, Czechoslovakia, Hungary. If Burgundy's included, best believe all that other stuff is too. So, yeah, that's how that went. So we were expelled from all those places around the same time. But the people that were in rulership, they had to kick them out of rulership, obviously. But the people that weren't ruling, they all got expelled, which made it easier for them to kick out the rulers. That's how they were able to get rid of the James family, the Stuart family, and you know, the people, the Bourbons over in France, the Bordeaux's in France, or Bordeaux, however you say that last name. You know, the Tudors, all them different people, right? That's how they was able to get rid of them. So yeah, that's good. I'm glad you brought that up.
So then it says, oh, hold on, going the wrong way. It says, let me go down to the highlighted areas that I have. It says, so influenced by it, it said in December 1496, there was an issue of decree from Mujib ordering all Jews and Moors who would not embrace the Christian faith to quit his dominions. The time approached when the Jews who would not become Christians were to quit Portugal, right? So let's keep going.
Wait, but hold on. So the Jews and Moors thing, I want to put that out there because a lot of people think that we got to be all the Moors. We're not. Most of the Moors were actual Muslims.
Right.
Okay? Whether they were African Muslims or Islamic Muslims, don't matter. They were Muslims. Right? Jews is what we was called. And as you see, there was definitely a distinction between Jews and Muslims at these places at this time.
That's right.
They didn't have to be labeled the same thing.
That's right.
There's some people that like to make it seem, there's some camps that wear a specific color that make it seem like, you know, the Jews and the Moors had to be the same people. And that it's just a name that you could use interchangeably. That was the case for some, but not for most.
Right.
You know, for most, if you was called the Moor, they put the word Berber there because the Berber people usually African. You know what I'm saying? If they dark skinned, or they was Ishmael if they wasn't.
Right.
Feel me? Which is not our people, neither one. So it's like when it was Jews, if you were a person, if you were a brother that they know was us just like that, they labeled you Jew. So I just wanted to say that so that there's no confusion because people always think we are all the Moors, and that's not the case.
It says, let me go down a little further. It says he ordered all the sons of Jews under 14 years of age to be forcibly taken from their parents that they might be instructed and initiated in the Christian faith. This could not be executed without causing the most affecting and heart-rending scenes. It was a horrid and wretched spectacle to see the children, by casting them into wells, others in fits of despair made away with themselves. The king was so determined on making converts of his people that he resolved to induce them by rewards. But here's the thing I want to get to. It says, by the arrangement of king was to have provided vessels for the Jews to permit them to freely depart, right? But check this out. It says 3 ports Lisbon or Porto and Setúbal were at first assigned for their embarkation. The reason why I'm bringing this up when it says Lisbon, this is the largest city in Portugal today, I believe. I want to show you something here because we're going to identify, watch this. We're going to identify who these people are real quick, right? All right, so let's go down here. I'm going to go up because this was something that I had brought out about the monastery in St. Domingo. There was a celebrated chapel called the Jesus Chapel. Just to kind of give you I'm not going to go read the whole thing, but what I will do is show you that at the end of this, it calls these new Christians, right, who were being forced to convert to Christianity, right? But at the bottom, it talks about how it says, read here, to every Christian who should kill a Jew or anyone who conformed to Judaism, right? But then it says down here what they did to him, right? Let me do this the right way. It says they slew and mangled their victims, casting many while yet living into the fires, the Negroes and vilest rabble. So who are these new Christians who are in Lisbon, who were taken from Spain to Portugal, right? And then were transferred to the west coast of Africa. These were called Negroes. They were also called the Jews. So one more.
Negroes for sale and not Jews for sale, because Jews and Negroes was interchangeable. Once they kicked the Jews out, they wanted to drop the name Jew because they were going to take it. They already had this plan in place. We show you that during the Balfour Declaration lesson. So they just put Negro on the signs because we were no longer going to be the Jews.
That's right. So one more in this, and then I'm done. One more. I'm going to present this real quick. Let me do this. I shouldn't have did it that way. But one more. This is something that I showed before also, but it kind of adds to what we just spoke about, right? So let me blow this up a little bit. You guys can see this, right? It says right here, I got it highlighted. This is a book that I own. This book, oh, you know what? Let me give the title of this book. This book is called The Critical Review of Annals of Literature. This is from 1783, right? It was
anything that say annals is good.
Say that again.
History. Anything that say annals on it is good history.
Con. So when you go forward, I'm gonna go forward a little bit here. Let me highlight this here real quick again. Oops, sorry. If I can get it right there. Oh gosh. All right, there we go. It says Prince Henry's colonies were enlarged. It says King John II in 1492 expelled all the Jews to the island of St. Thomas. Now, this island of St. Thomas is on the west coast of Africa, right? Which had been discovered in 1471 and other Portuguese settlements to the continent of Africa. And from these banished Jews, there we go, being kicked out, the Black Portuguese, as they are called, and the Jews in Luango, who are despised even by the very Negroes, which were their people, are descended. So these Black Jews, these Black Portuguese Jews, are descended from the group called the Negroes, right? If you go down a little bit further, you'll see down here where it says, in the beginning of the 16th century, the Spaniards, Portuguese, began to transport Negroes, these same Black Jews from Portugal, right, for similar labors to the West Indies and Brazil. So now we know that's South America and the islands over there, by which the Negro trade was rapidly increased. So these are secondary sources that we have, right? That they did not bother to destroy, or we were able to get a hold of because of the internet and because of places like Amazon.
And they're not gonna destroy them because the Most High wants some of us to wake up.
Exactly.
Also, they're not gonna destroy them because they know that if you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in the books. They don't have to destroy it. They can keep the records for themselves.
God. So those are just a couple of resources that we have that are outside of what the scriptures already tell us. So just want to bring
two scriptures and then we can get Daniel 7 and get up out of here. I do want to show them Isaiah 30. Read verses 1 to 3.
Isaiah
30? Isaiah chapter 30, verses 1 to 3. Because reason I want to read this is just to show that there's a difference between Israel and Egypt, obviously, like it says in Ezekiel, like it says Exodus 11:7, right? That there's a difference between the Egyptians and Israel, right? So what we have to understand about Isaiah is it even talks about how Egypt would be our confusion, right? I'm gonna make that Africa for the time being, because any of the Afrocentrics, any of the Egyptologists, anything like that, right? They're typically confused on who they actually are because they've made Egypt their strength, or Africa their strength, right? As opposed to looking to the place we actually come from and history that was before that. So, that's what we're gonna get into. Go ahead, read that.
It's the book of Salakia, the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, and starting at verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. Verse 2. That walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
See that? So to trust in the shadow of Egypt. That's what they're doing. They've trusted themselves in the shadow of Egypt and the glory of the past place, and don't even know anything about Israel. Don't even know that the people of Israel are supposed to be black. They think it's them Jewish people over there. You know what I'm saying? They so worried about, everybody want to be Egyptian. The white man made himself, Nefertiti, not even knowing Nefertiti probably was a white woman. but probably wasn't a white woman? Judith? No, probably wasn't a white woman. Deborah? Not probably. What am I saying? You know who was it? God, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but they don't even look to none of that stuff because they caught up in Egypt. They think it's all about Africa, right? They've made Egypt their own. And there's a strong delusion that comes along with that. So something else, Baruch 2 and 30, right? Just to prove we were gonna wake up when we actually find out who we are in captivity.
It's the book of Baruch, chapter 2, and verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves.
All right. So we are a stiff-necked people, but in the land of our captivity, which is here, we remember ourselves. So these white racist people gonna always say we don't know who we are. We're just some folks cosplaying to be the Jews. But the Bible tells us in the place we served slavery is where we're gonna remember who we actually are. And ironically, the title that y'all give us isn't a real title, so we have to be telling the truth. We're the only people on the planet named after a damn crayon.
God. Right.
So, just saying. You could get to Daniel 7. That's the end of the lesson. Hope y'all understood it. But it was supposed to be quick. We was on here a lot longer than I wanted to be. But hopefully y'all got an understanding of what it is that we were saying. We gave y'all some resources and didn't even have to go into the Bible that much, which is good because now some of y'all might actually be able to understand what was going on.
God, all praise to the Most High. So let me, before we end and go to Daniel 7 and 18, let you guys get on out of here. I'm going to give a few shout outs for those who came in. Shout out to Brother Damon. Shout out to Brother Coach Sayar, to the Mighty Soldier Antonio, to the Brother Yohanan, to the Real Graham, to Yacob, to Yuri Ban, to Zayawan, also to the mighty Captain Aharon Dawad, also to Sister Shamashar Abaya, House of Aharon Dawad. Shalom to you. I hope everyone got some information, some great information, edification from this. So what we're going to do, let me also just remind, just like earlier, any brothers who want to put their brick in and do the work with the Anointed House of Saints, please do so by sending us your request through email at anointedhos@gmail.com. In the subject line, put prospect phase, and we'll get back with you when the next prospect phase starts. All right. Also, a reminder that we will be having Feast of Dedication, and we will be gathering, Anointed House of Saints will be gathering in Greensboro, North Carolina, December 26th through the whole weekend. This will be in Greensboro, North Carolina at our Israelite school. The brothers in North Carolina are always ready to have everything put together for a nice feast. We hope that everyone can come out. Those who want to attend, also send us an email, anointedhos@gmail.com, and we'll get that information to you. We are looking for donations. Please, if you would like to donate to the Anointed House of Saints, please do so at AHOS School. That's $AHOS School. That would greatly help us with our fees and finances for the school, and also being able to give out to our community. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and get Daniel 7 and verse 18, and it reads, "But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. All praises by Hashem and Mashiach Yahushai." I want to thank you again for being diligent, being in class. Also, don't forget we have classes throughout the week, so please attend those. We have our Thursday night Torah portion with Captain Yonatan. We also have our Saturday Sabbath morning brew with Captain Aharon. We have our Milk Mondays coming back around the corner. Also, our prayer line and Bible study, which takes place with our congregation. That usually takes place right around 9 p.m. on Friday nights. So, with that, I'm going to say all praises. Next time, hope to see you next time for another Milk Monday. I'm Officer Knock and
Captain all the aristocrat.
And with that, we are going to say shalom, 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 Israel. Until next time.
This is not a test.
Black skin, black sauce, black Jesus, black music, 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 black music, black music, black music, black music.